Hi friends, I'm Bailey. Welcome to my corner of the internet. I hope you're all doing well today. Please take a moment, like, subscribe, and let me know where you're coming in from. Thank you all so much for all the love and support. I'm going to tell you today's story to the best of my ability, taking very public information and filtering it through my own unprofessional opinion. Please do your own research and form your own opinion. As uncomfortable as it is for us to talk about these stories, imagine how uncomfortable it is for the ones affected. We owe it to them to acknowledge their unbearable experiences, learn something from it, and raise awareness. Today's riddle: what English word has three consecutive double letters? Lamora Williams was born in the early 90s and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. She suffered from mental illness as a child and into her adult years. After her father died in 2014, things only got worse. Lamora's father was her backbone. He did everything for her, and when she lost him, it's like she lost her world. Her family described her as a slow learner who had to be pulled out of public schools and subsequently homeschooled. When she was younger, she attempted by cutting her. She gave birth to a baby girl when she was 18 years old. We don't know much about this child or their father. Lamora Williams and Jamil Penn met in their late teens. They had 3 boys together. Lamora and Jamil separated around July 2017 after years of tension within the relationship. After their separation, Lamora's mother tried to get custody of the kids. Her mother claimed that Lamora was not providing proper care for all the children due to her mental health conditions. Lamora also suffered from postpartum depression. On October 13th, 2017, Jamil hadn't seen his kids in about a month. He usually got to see them every weekend. Jamil received a phone call from 24-year-old Lamora. She told him that they were dead, and after asking who was dead, Jamil received a video call from Lamora. She shows him this gruesome scene. He's at work, so he hurries up and calls 911. He told dispatchers that Lamora had video called him and showed their lifeless bodies of their children. It was like a real horror movie, and it was Friday the 13th. Lamora called 911 at the same time. But her biggest concern was not the death of her sons. It was the fear of getting into trouble. More than 2 minutes and 20 seconds passed before she told dispatchers where she was. The dispatcher tried to be helpful, but Lamora just kept repeating herself, saying it wasn't her fault. Lamora told investigators that she had left her 3 sons home for 11 hours, with a cousin watching them from noon until late that evening around 11. Lamora called 911 shortly before midnight and told the operator she had come home from work to find that the cousin was gone and her children were no longer with us. The stove was lying on the youngest son's head, and her other son was laid out on the floor with his brains laid out on the floor. Officers arrived at Oakland City West End Apartments and found Jamil Jr., who was 3 at the time, and Keontae Penn, aka K-Man, who was 2, and Carter Penn was just a year old. K-Man and Jacarter were no longer with us. Prosecutors argued that Lamora put Jacarter and K-Man in the oven sometime between late Thursday night and early Friday morning. 3-year-old Jamil Jr. was unharmed, but it seemed that he witnessed what happened to his siblings. Lamora was arrested and held at the Fulton County Jail, and she was put on 24-hour surveillance to monitor her for self-harm. Lamora's mother said that her daughter had a long history of mental illness and believed she just snapped following the breakup with Jamil. The medical examiner could not determine the exact manner of homicide and cause of death, attributing the deaths to violence of unknown causes. The autopsy reports state that the thermal changes appeared to be entirely from dry heat and changes from prolonged exposure to that heat. Lamora also racked up 2 additional charges while in jail: battery with subsequential physical harm and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. After a 2-week trial in Fulton County, on Friday, kind of ironic, it's a Friday, November 15th, 2024, Lamora Williams was sentenced to life without parole plus 35 years after being convicted on 14 charges. Jamil Penn Jr. lived with his father after the death of his siblings. As of a few years ago, it looked like him and his father was living as best as one could expect, and it seemed that his father may have started a new relationship, although I didn't dive deep into where they are right now. But they were trying to do as best as they could, it seemed. All right, you guys, that's it for me today. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It means so much to me. I love and appreciate you all so much. Today's riddle: what English word has 3 consecutive double letters? Bookkeeper. Let me know your thoughts below. We must avoid looking the other way and saying it isn't my business. We need to step up together because it is our business.